Hello everybody and welcome back to my monthly video tutorial series. Today I am going to be talking to you a bit about some simple things that you can do to take your cosplay makeup to the next level. So I talked in last month's tutorial about contouring and showed you how to do that. So I want to talk a little bit more about some other little things that you can kind of throw in and some things that I kind of halfway on the side mentioned in that video but didn't really have an opportunity to get into. First and foremost, continuing from last month's tutorial, one of the number one things that you can invest in is a contouring palette and learning how to use it. This is the best way to add extra definition to your face and just make yourself look even better in all of your cosplay photos, because obviously these days you go to a convention, you're going to get your photo taken, and having that extra shadow and highlight on your face can really make an extra step towards making you as a whole in your cosplay look even better. If you are wearing a costume that's like low cut or strapless, or like your chest is going to be showing at all, you can also bring your contouring down into this area, you know, kind of like fiddle with your body and see like, okay, so the bone is here, so there's shadow being created here and highlight being created here, and there's a little bit of shadow here. So this is a little side note. I use a green neutralizer literally every time I cosplay. Anytime I do my makeup, anytime I'm going to be on video, in front of a camera, at a con, anything, I always use this. And what this does is it cancels out redness in your face. I've used a ton of different brands of this. The first one that I got was at Target. I found it at Walgreens. And you basically just want to look for whatever one is green, and it'll usually say green concealer or color corrector or something like that on it. And then I like to use sponges for applying my makeup. Now that that's done, I'm going to apply my foundation. Another thing that I mentioned in my contouring video that I didn't really get into is an eyeshadow base. Now, I mentioned a little bit, I like to go with the skin tone one. These come in different colors. There's like white and black and gray and a couple different shades of skin tone. I recommend getting whatever color is closest to your natural skin tone. And the reason for that is I like to use this basically as an eye foundation. So I will bring it all the way up to my eyebrow, all the way down to my little like saddlebags, like all over my eye area. And the intention of this product is to help your eyeshadow last longer and for the pigments to be more vibrant. So for example, I like to apply this. You can apply this with your finger. I like to use a little brush. So I'm gonna put just a little bit here on my hand, just to show you for an example. So you can see the little line that I did there of color. And then I'm going to take an eyeshadow brush, and I have here, just for sample today, a little general eyeshadow palette from Claire's. So I'm going to take a color that normally wouldn't show up super great. So I'm going to go with this vibrant blue here. So here's the blue applied directly to my skin. Oh my God, that's not even remotely in the camera. So there it is, applied directly to my skin. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing here on top of the eyeshadow primer. Look at that. Look at that color difference between straight to my skin and on the primer. Look at that. So now this color throughout the day is just going to wear away and wear away and wear away and become nothing. But because it's here on the eyeshadow primer, look at that, it's staying so much better because it's got something to cling to. Whereas on your skin, it just like soaks up into the pores and like floats off into the ether and like disappears into oblivion. So having an eyeshadow primer, eyeshadow base can really help make those colors pop even more. Also help them last longer, which, you know, when you're wearing a costume, like, you know, bear in mind, most of us, when we wear costumes, we wear them to conventions. And when you go to a convention, you know, if you're like me, you get there at like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning and you're there until like 7, 8 o'clock at night. So you're wearing your makeup for anywhere from 6 to 10 to 12 hours at a convention. So, you know, if you're not wearing the proper bases to keep your makeup in place, everything is going to melt away within the first couple hours and you're going to get to the end of the day and you're just going to look like a hot mess. Another thing that I kind of halfway mentioned in my contouring tutorial is makeup sponges. Now, these are pretty nifty little guys. For me, they come in handy the most for my contouring because I can use the big end to blend like my big contouring areas, and then I can use this guy to kind of like get up in here in my eye, like with my nose, and like get all those details. But you can also use these for blending blush, for blending eyeshadow, for blending on your lipstick. Like, you can use these for literally anything, but you can get them at most makeup shops for like $3 to $5. And they last forever and they're totally washable, whatever. But like if I were doing my eyeshadow, I could like do my eyeshadow and then kind of take this guy and just like blend that all together. So that's everything that I mentioned in the contouring video. So now I'm going to talk a little bit more about your face. Most people these days already do this, but one of the things that you can do to kind of bring a little more definition to your face is lining your eyebrows. I used to be really lazy about that because I didn't think that it mattered. And once I started doing it, I saw what a huge difference it makes in just like bringing definition to my face and like attention and expression to my eyebrows. So I always do that. And for my eyebrows, I use, so this is it's from Maybelline. It's old as hell. My sister actually gave me this. It used to be hers. So this is a brown pot eyeliner, and it's like a little brown gel. And I use this angled eyeliner brush, and I just follow the curve. I don't do anything fancy with my eyebrows. I literally just accentuate what's already there. And I line the brow, and then I just fill it in, and I'm done. You can also use that same technique to change the color of your eyebrows, and I talked about this a little bit in the how to properly put on a wig tutorial. So at the end of that video, if you fast forward to the end, I talk a little bit about how to change the color of your eyebrows. And that's another thing that you can do to take your cosplay to the next level, because, you know, you should imagine like yes, in the artwork, like a character like Ariel here has her like fire engine red hair. And yes, in the animation, she has black eyebrows, but you have to think about cosplay in terms of you're bringing this character into the real world. And in the real world, a character who has red hair that red would probably naturally have eyebrows that match it. or close to it. So that's something that can really help just make you look a little more like realistic and natural in whatever it is that you're wearing, is thinking about, okay, so this character has blue hair. What color should I do my eyebrows? Should I do them the normal brown that I normally do? Or should I do black? Should I do black with a little bit of blue in it? Should I do blue? Just kind of thinking about those things really helps add an extra level to your cosplay. One of the other things that you can do that a lot of people are a little afraid of is wear blush. So blush just kind of makes your face look a little younger and a little brighter and happier, and like you're doing a Disney princess or something, like, put on a little bit of blush. If you're not sure what color is right for you, I recommend going to like MAC or Sephora or somewhere where there's someone who can help you go through those colors and figure out what color is right for you. Because blush isn't just pink anymore. Like, blush comes in so many different colors and so many different shades. And it can be intimidating to try and figure out what color is right for you. But once you figure out that color, you're golden. So I have a couple different colors I use for different characters, and my favorite is this just kind of like neutral dusty pink color because it looks super natural. So I like to use a big fluffy brush for my blush because I feel like this helps me not get too much pigment on my face. So we just take that and boop, 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 get some on the brush. And then I like to smile, figure out where the balls of my cheek are. Apples of my cheek, I think they're called. Just give a big smile and then put the blush right on there and then just kind of brush it up towards your hairline. And when I have contouring on, I like to kind of focus it in between where my highlight and my shadow are. So kind of like right in there. And then you do the same thing on the other side. Big smile. And just very gently sweep it. The one thing that you really don't want to do with blush is just focus it in one spot. You want to move it around your face. And then to kind of tie it all together, I like to do a little boop and then just a little bit right on the tip of my nose. And that just ties everything together. God, the lighting in here is so bright. I don't know if you guys can even like at all see. But I promise it's there. And it's just, you can kind of see. Just that little bit of rosiness just really brightens up your face. So it's something to consider if you're not already doing that. Something else while I'm sitting here looking at them that you could consider doing if you are thinking about taking your cosplay makeup to the next level is investing in makeup brushes. Now, once upon a time, I thought I wanted to be a professional makeup artist, so I have a lot of makeup brushes. And I keep them all on this little belt. So when I'm doing makeup for my friends, I tack it around my waist and it stays there. There's all kinds of different like containers for makeup brushes these days. So, you don't have to have a waist strap like mine is. You can get a makeup bag. Some brushes come in makeup bags. You can just kind of like shove them all in a pencil box. They're brushes. They're resilient. They'll live. But I definitely recommend investing in some different kinds of brushes. And when you find them on sale, just like buy some that you've never used before and try them out. Just see what you like and see what works for you for different things. Most brushes will say on the package what they're intended for. And then you can just kind of go home and experiment with that and be like, okay, this says it's supposed to be used for this. Let's try it out. So I've got these big like blush and powder brushes. I've got my eyeshadow brushes. This is a bronzer brush. I've got all of my different pencils. I've got my concealer brush. I use this guy for doing freckles. This is my contouring brush. I've got a bunch of different angled and straight brushes for doing eyeliner and my eyebrows and corner accents and things like that. So it's really just about figuring out what works for you. But having a nice set of makeup brushes really can make a huge difference in how evenly your makeup goes on, how well you're able to blend it, and how natural it's going to look later on, versus trying to apply it all with your fingers or something. So I talked a little bit about making your eyeshadow last, and that's really one of the biggest things, and the reason that I kind of saved these couple points for last is one of the biggest things to worry about, and one of the biggest things that can help take your cosplay to the next level is thinking about helping your makeup stay on as long as possible, because you are going to be in your costume and in your makeup for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours, in the sun, out of the sun, in air conditioning, not in air conditioning, in heat, in cold, in waiting rooms, in photo shoots, hanging out with friends, eating. Like, your makeup goes through a lot. So one of the things that I recommend investing in is some form of makeup setting spray. And this basically just is a little spritzer of makeup fixative. And once you're done with everything, don't be like, one thing spray. Like, once you're done, you're all set. You're going to take this little sucker, you're going to pop the top off, and you're going to go and just spray your whole face. Let that seep in and just leave it alone. And that will help just kind of like hold everything there. So if you start sweating throughout the day and whatever, it won't start running. If you like start crying because you go to a really great panel or something, you know, your makeup's not running all over your face and whatever. It's not smearing or anything. There's a ton of different brands. They sell them everywhere now. Like, this is a huge thing now. So pretty much anywhere you go to get makeup, you should be able to find some kind of setting spray. And they range from probably like $8 to like $25. One of my favorite tips that I just absolutely love sharing with people is how to help your lipstick last all day. Because for us lady cosplayers who wear lipstick with all of our costumes, it's kind of a pain in the ass that like you roll up to the con and you eat the croissant or something and your lipstick is just gone. And 9 times out of 10, you've forgotten to bring your lipstick with you, so you don't have anything to touch up with. So you spend the whole rest of the day going to all of your friends being like, do you have lipstick? Do you have red lipstick? Do you have pink lipstick? Do you have purple lipstick? Do you have orange lipstick? Like, whatever crazy color your lips are. And the reason that I love this trick is not only because it helps your lipstick last forever, like literally will not come off for anything, but also it's really, really handy for colors that you can't really like find anywhere else, or would be like really, really expensive because they're really obscure colors. The first step of my trick is I recommend using lip liner. So this is a nifty little guy that's like 50% lip liner, 50% lipstick. So it's got a lip liner built into it, but lip liner basically stops your lipstick from bleeding outside of the lines of your lip. And then it also helps, similar to the eyeshadow primer, lip liner helps your lipstick stick to your lips and stay on longer. So I always line my lips. And you can also, if you're doing a character that you want to do like thinner lips on or thicker lips or whatever, using lip liner is a great way to kind of prepare yourself for where your lipstick needs to go. So like if you were trying to make your lips look bigger, you would do your lip liner like outside of the line, the natural line of your lip. If you're trying to make them thinner, you would go inside and then put concealer outside of the new line that you drew, etc., etc. So I'm just gonna, for these purposes, stay right inside the natural line of my lip. Now, normally I would like fill this in with lip liner as well, but I'm running low on lip liner, so I'm just gonna do the outline. And then I'm gonna take my lipstick Now that your lipstick base is on, you want to take a paper towel, a little square of toilet paper, a shirt you don't give a shit about, like whatever. And you want to blot off the extra lipstick. That was all excess that could have smeared all over my face, but not anymore. So see how my first blot, my second blot, my third blot. So now pretty much all of the excess is off, but I still have color, and I still have some tackiness. So now, to make this last literally all day, like it will not come off, I am going to take an eyeshadow. And for these purposes, I want something that's gonna I'm gonna do this one. Because that's nice and dark, so you should be able to see the difference really well. So I'm gonna take this guy. And I've got it on just a normal eyeshadow brush. And I'm just gonna dab it. So now I have a gorgeous, super pigmented color that's matte, looks gorgeous, and literally will not come off for anything. I do this in the mornings before I leave for cons. I eat 2 to 3 meals and like Pocky and snacks throughout the day, and my lipstick is like 60 to 80% there by the end of the day. And I don't ever touch up my lipstick. Like, screw that. I don't carry my lipstick around and a mirror and like worry about reapplying that stuff. Like, it just, that's it. That's what I do. That's it. That's all. And again, the beautiful thing about this, so like if you wanted, like say you wanted your lips to be that crazy blue color, done. You could put on a chapstick and put that on, or you could do a kind of neutral color like this, or like a nude lipstick, some kind of base that's like pretty close to what your lips naturally are. Tap that vibrant blue color into your lips. It'll last all day, and you'll have that crazy vibrant blue color on your lips without having to go to the store and buy blue lipstick. You can also elaborate on this to like kind of change the shape of your mouth a little bit by, so I'm going to take like this darker color and I'm going to put that on my top lip. There we go. And then I'm going to put a little bit just right on the inside of my lower lip. And then I'm going to take this little highlight so I'm putting a little bit of highlight on the areas that I want to look bigger and a little bit of shadow in the areas that shadow is naturally hitting, so it adds a little bit of accentuation to my lip and makes my lip look just a little bit fuller and thicker and plumper, because I've got that shadow happening on the inside, I've got that highlight happening in the plump area. So I have one final tip for you, darlings. And it's probably the most common tip. You've probably received this tip 1,000 times or thought it yourself, or you already do it, because it is the easiest way to take your cosplay makeup to the next level. And that is fake eyelashes. I hate these. I hate fake lashes so much. I hate wearing them, I hate putting them on, I hate buying them. They drive me absolutely bonkers. But the level to which they take my cosplay makeup is so undeniable that I have no choice but to wear them to literally every convention. Because they look so good. And every single time I pull them out and I'm like, I don't need them this time, right? Like, nobody's gonna notice if I'm not wearing them. I'll be like, oh, well, everybody else is still doing their makeup. I guess, like, I have time, whatever. And I'll put one on and I'm like, God damn it, it looks so good. Crap. So they're kind of scary, but I promise they are worth the investment. This is absolutely the best eyelash that I can recommend. It looks super natural. It's very lightweight. It's super comfortable. You will forget that you're wearing these by the end of the day. And they sell them everywhere. So you don't have to like go to some crazy Asian market or something to try and find them. Like you can find them across the street at CVS or Walgreens. So Ardell Natural 120 Demi, especially if you're just starting out, like you're wearing fake lashes for the first time. Please start with these. Do not start with China lashes, because those are heavy and thick and uncomfortable and just grotesque. So because I'm a nice person, I'm going to show you guys how to put these on. I don't really want to wear them today, but I love you guys that much. So the way that these come in the package is if you hold them up to your face like this, that's which eye each one goes on. And you can also tell the difference because if you look closely at them, you'll see that this edge is a little shorter than this edge. So you want the short edge to sit at your inner eye and the longer edge to sit out, and that's gonna elongate and like lengthen your eye. I'm gonna do this eye. So I want this lash. I'm gonna pop this guy out. And now I reuse my lashes. Some people don't. But I spend so much money on them that I'm like, screw you, I'm gonna get as much use out of this as possible. And I will basically use them until they become a clumped mess and like don't look good anymore. So these I've probably worn 4 or 5 times. And they still look pretty good. So I like to take them off and just kind of flex them a little bit, make sure that they're keeping their curve. And then you're gonna take your eyelash glue. This is the brand that I recommend. From my experience, I used to get cheap lash glue and my lashes would literally pop off every 30 seconds. And then I started using Duo adhesive and my lashes last all day. So I recommend not skimping on this. If you're gonna skimp anywhere, skimp on your lashes, get the good glue. I'm gonna take my lash. And I'm gonna squeeze this guy until a little bubble pops out. I'm just gonna feed that gently right along the edge. As you see, I have a very thin little line of lash glue there. You do not want too much lash glue because too much lash glue is going to take like 10 years to dry. And it's going to be a goopy, disgusting mess on your face. And too little is not going to adhere it. So you want just enough to cover the line of the lashes. I blow on this for a second. You want to give it a couple seconds to kind of become a little tacky. Okay, so now I'm going to take my lash by both edges. I'm just going to line it up. Oh, fuck. I blinked. Shit. You want to try and get this as close to your natural lash line as possible. Good. Oh, no, that's wonderful. If you fuck up like I just did, really not a big deal because it's going to dry clear. If you have a lash glue that is black or other colored, freak out a little bit, but this is why I like to go for the white/clear glue, because if I screw up, see, like I've got that little bit of glue up there, that's gonna dry and nobody's gonna be able to see it. So I have a long pair of tweezers that I like to use to kind of just like press everything in, or if you have like a little like pointed Q-tip, or if you have like long nails or something and can kind of get in there, but I like to just kind of like go in with something pointed and just make sure that all my spots are touching. That feels pretty secure. So now look at that difference. It's a huge difference. Your eye looks so much bigger and so much prettier and sparkly, and it just like makes everything look beautiful. And I hate that it works. I hate it so much. I want them to not work so that I don't have to wear them, but they totally work. So now I like to go in my eyelash curler. And I just go over, and I like to do this once the lashes are on, because if my natural lashes are already curled, it makes it a little more difficult for the falsies to go on. So the proper way to use an eyelash curler is you want to get the curler over your lashes and you go straight up, and then you twist back towards your eye. And then you release that, and then you go in kind of at an angle like this, about halfway up the lash. And you do that one more time. And that just curls everything back very beautifully. And then I look ridiculous because I only have one pair of lashes. Okay, so that is all of my little tips and tricks and tidbits on different things that you can do and try out and experiment with to take your cosplay makeup to the next level and thus take your cosplay to the next level. Thinking about things like this really help to take, just make your photos look more refined and more professional, and to make yourself as a whole look more professional and more put together. These are absolutely not things that are required or expected by any means, but for people who are trying to take that next step with their costumes, these are some little things that can help you take that step. So that is it for this month's tutorial. As always, I really want to give a shout out to my patrons who make all of this possible. Without you guys, I really, honestly, truly, I wouldn't be able to make costumes. I wouldn't be able to make videos, maintain all of my different accounts. Like, all of this is thanks to you. And I cannot fully express to you enough how much I appreciate your help and your support and your love and enthusiasm. It really, really makes everything possible. If anybody is interested in seeing videos before they come out, seeing photo shoots before they come out, costumes before they're released, one-on-one chats, and in general just helping me continue to make tutorials and make videos and make costumes and give you everything that you come here for, the link to my Patreon is down below in the description, so please check out the link if you feel so inclined to join. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you don't feel so inclined to join, no judgment, no pressure whatsoever. Your support and just watching this video, watching and liking this video and subscribing to me, and however whatever form your support comes in, really means the world to me, so thank you. If you have suggestions for other tutorials that you'd like to see, if you have questions about anything you saw in this video, anything that you're trying to do in your cosplay journey, please feel free to leave comments down below, send me a message, whatever. I would love to chat with you more about everything that I talked about here. And I look forward to next month's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. See you later and happy cosplaying.